Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. In the previous lecture about CV writing, we talked about generally the CV, its requirement, and its inevitability and importance in our professional life. Now, we are going to be a bit more specific about the different kinds of CV and their suitability as far as your career and your place is concerned. So you know professionally where do you stand and what kind of CV do you need. So to tell you about this and give you a guideline about it, that which kind of CV suits you, you can suit it according to your situation. We are going to discuss this lecture today. So let's start. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. First of all, whatever we have discussed in the previous one, we would like to discuss what does CV, curriculum vitae, means. It means course of life. As in the previous lecture I have discussed the snapshot of our career, in the same way this is a course of life which is depicted through our CV. So this is a detailed document which highlight our professional or academic history that we have discussed earlier on. Then there can be two different purposes of CV. One, we are applying for a job, and another one in academia, if we are applying for a scholarship or in any other mode we are applying. So these two can be the purposes of CV. After these purposes, we are going to discuss the kinds. Basically there are two pure kinds of CV. One is functional and one is chronological, and third is the combination of both. Mean, as I have told you earlier on, that there is no hard and fast rule. Sometime according to our requirement, as we need to highlight our strengths, accordingly we can change the format and we can use the combined CV as well. So we know better where to apply, how to apply, and we know one thumb rule that we have to highlight our strengths. So accordingly you can choose any. So now let's move on. Let's talk about the CV. Functional CV, the first one. The functional CV, the main focus of the functional CV is on our skills and experience. It is not talking about the history of our work or our education. So it is telling about the history, but we are not taking it with the historical perspective. Whereas later on we will discuss chronological CV, as it tells that will go on with the historical perspective. Here we will lead ourselves from skills and experience. So accordingly, so functional CV can be started with your personal statement like objective and your achievements, and then you can highlight your skills which are more worthier, which can benefit you more, which can make your more market earlier on, and then later on other things as your voluntary roles that we have discussed earlier on. Now, a very important question: among you, who should use the functional CV? The functional CV is usually for the people who try to switch their jobs, who try to switch their fields. They are not consistent with their field. So that's why historically there are no gaps which can be shown over there. So whoever change the job frequently over the time or looking to change his career, he has multiple transferable skills, so he should use functional CV. So if you have not a smooth career, there are some ups and downs, there are some gaps. So in that situation, you can use functional CV. So here in the third line I have mentioned, this will help you avoid highlighting the fact that you have not stayed at one job for very long time. So mean, here this is a kind of weakness. Mean, why did not you work so long in one organization, and why you were not so consistent? In this kind of inconsistency can be hidden through this CV. Then different categories, as I have discussed earlier on, mean your skills, your qualifications. Accordingly you cover your CV. Then this is called your functional CV. The contents of your functional CV highlighting your skills again, and this is according to, there is one theme, and according to each theme you provide a specific project. For example, if I am applying for a lecturer job, so I'll highlight my skills which are related to teaching. But for example, in my master's degree, I did a project in which I was basically trying to design a syllabus for engineers, for computer science students. And if I have a job, as I told you earlier on, mean I have to look the specific purpose of the job, and if I'm going to apply for a job which is about the syllabus designer or curriculum designer, this kind of post, then rather than focusing on my lecturing ability and teaching ability, I'll discuss that particular project that will help in my that particular field. So according to each theme, you can vary your functional CV. This is according to your skill. So then after that, you can briefly discuss your work history as well, in which your lectureship, your teaching or other things also come, but mainly you will categorize the thing accordingly, and your focus will be about the syllabus or curriculum design. So hopefully you are getting it now. Then definitely it will hide if there are any gaps. There is a template that you can use for this one. Here you can see here this is the title, then career objectives which are just connected with that particular skill or field which I am going to apply. That I have discussed earlier on, whether I am applying for a lecture or whether I am applying for a curriculum designer. So accordingly that one, then core qualifications which relate with that particular field, mean I have categorized here, then experience and skills, and then later on all those 6 parts that I have discussed in previous lecture, which are very important, mean your reference, your biodata, and your qualifications. All other things will be later on can be discussed. So this is just the first page that I have discussed here. Fine. Then this is the second page. Mean here you can see there are the qualifications, education, our work history, and this continue to the reference and all other things. So you can use any of those CVs. Here you can find out now if a person who is at entry level, how he can organize his CV. This is here, mean generally qualification summary, mean energetic and deeply dedicated registered nurse, mean who has got not so much experience. Similarly, I can say that well experienced or as curriculum designer. So, and there is no so much experience, so that's why you can use this one at entry level. And one page CV, you can simply, what I want to tell you, for example, many of the students here, they are at entry level, so they can serve this kind of one page CV where they are not talking too much about their skills and experience, but they are talking about whatever they have got in their internship and all other these things, and one page CV is enough for them. And this is now for the experienced person. If you are applying for the senior level job, you can make the comparison between this and this. Here specifically in your functional CV, you are talking about your particular skill and all the experience. You are starting with this experience that you have got, a lot of tons of experience you have. So this is the difference. So this CV may be 2 or 3 pages may consist on, but it's up to you. So this is senior level and this is entry level, and here you can see your entry level starts with your qualifications and your senior level starts with your experience. That we have discussed in the previous one, that your experience and your qualification may move up and down according to your need and according to the need of employer. Then there is another one that you can see. Let's move on quickly towards chronological CV. That's the second kind of CV. This is now we can say that historical, in historical perspective of your education, qualification, or your work experience. Here it is basically advisable to those people who are quite consistent. They have, if they are senior, they have worked in one field, they are not going to change their career, they are quite consistent, so they can use this CV. And this is sometimes very helpful for the employer. Here it is written traditional CV. This is also called traditional, very helpful for the employer, because he is looking that how he get the bottom line about your career progression quite easily through the historical facts. I mean, as I have taught you earlier on, chronology is related to history or time frame that is moving on. So according to the time frame in, for example, 2012, 2013, 2014, 2015, 16, 17, so in the sequence you are going on, and accordingly your work history or your educational history is going on. When there are no gaps in it, so then it can be beneficial for you. So the people who are consistent in their field, in their qualification and all those things, they particularly in their field and their work experience, and they are not going to change even their field. For example, as I was talking earlier on about a teacher or lecture job, now if I am applying for a lecture job and I'm historically talking about that in 2019 I taught here, 2020 here, 2021 here, I have taught this field, so there is no gap going on there, so that can be helpful for me. So this is the chronological CV, and this includes the following these sections: your personal details, your personal statement, your career objectives, all those six more or less that we have discussed earlier on, six contents of the CV. Then who should use chronological CV? As I have told you earlier on, mean who have straightforward work history. I have discussed it, I don't need to mention it again, but for example, we can see here, I mean, you should not present. And then even there is another thing, if you have more than 15 years experience, then you should not use the more than 15 years experience work history, because that can sometimes, excess of everything is bad. Sometimes it can bring in the factor of ageism, and aged people sometimes they are also not more welcome. So if you are talking about less than 15 years experience work history, then that's fine. If you have more than it, then don't mention too much work history. That can bring in the negative factor of ageism, and employer may be guilty of your ageism and you are not going to get jobs. So this is another factor for the senior level. But for the junior level, if you have 5-6 year consistent work experience, then you can go on with this one. So here you can see the title, overall overview, energetic and motivative, mean here like objective you have given here. Then professional experience here 2014 to present, now with the dates, then 2012 to 2014. Here you can see this is this date here. So this is now from 2008 to 2008 to 2012 what he has done. So all this is going on consistently. Then he's talking about his education, here he's talking about his work history, which is, if you look at from downside to upward, you can see there is consistency in it. And then there is education, qualification, all those things. This is a kind of chronological CV. Then there is a combined CV according to your job requirement. If you look that somewhere your chronological aspect can help him, so you can make a mixture, kind of mixture, where first you can talk about your functional things, then you can move on to your chronological things. And usually this is the combination of chronological and functional, and it is a mixed kind of CV, but usually that's why it starts as a functional and ends in a kind of chronological, because this is a mixture of both. So you can achieve this by your employment history and adding extra detail of your career achievements. So by this you can make your combined CV. And for those people who have a very strong career path and they have got a lot of achievements, they can use the combined CV as ideal format. But the people who have a little experience and they don't have any kind of achievements, so then they should go for the functional purely or for the chronological. I mean, for example, these kind of people, they are more advisable to use chronological, because this will tell about their consistency, and the focus of employer will go towards your consistency. He will not think about your achievements. But if you have got many achievements, then you can use the combination of both. That CV is suitable for you. So here we have talked about the suitability. Now you know where do you stand, and accordingly you can form your CV. whether you are at entry level, whether you are at senior level, whether you have gaps in your work history or you have no gaps in your work history, you have achievements. So I have discussed all those things. You can put in accordingly your CV and you can get the maximum advantage. And according to the need of the job and according to ad for which you are applying, you can change your CV as well. There's no hard and fast rule that you always make one CV and choose it everywhere. You can change it accordingly, according to situation. So this was all about the CV on my part. If you have any queries, you can ask me. So far this is for you. Thank you very much, and if you have any queries, you can ask me later on.